it was amazing. I went in, there was 2 key workers, and they were giving me a mini tour. This is late at night as well. And they had like a living area with like a TV, so a communal living area, and they had like a kitchen just behind, which had so many utensils and cutlery and things. You could cook and do anything you wanted at any time, which was mad to me because I'd been living off toast for God knows how long. And I thought, I can make an actual meal. And I'd not been able to do that. And then they took me to my room, and I went in, and I still get emotional thinking about it now, because there was a bed, a bedside table, a wardrobe, and a set of drawers, and there was curtains up at the window. And they gave me a clean pack of bedding and some like sanitary products. And I just thought, and like toiletries, and I just thought, as if they've given me clean bedding, like this is amazing. I just want to stress how much that bedding actually meant. It sounds really strange to hear someone say, oh, bedding was amazing and it changed my life. It's not that. It was the fact that as soon as they handed me over some clean bedding that was my own, it was for me, it was for nobody else, it was my own bedding, it was up clean to make sure that I could sleep at roundabout in a clean, secure environment. And that's what it did. So in my head, automatically from the day I stepped foot in roundabout, I felt secure, I felt safe, and I felt looked after. And that's something I'd not felt for a long time in my childhood. They were nurturing me in a way that I'd not been nurtured for a long time. And that changed a narrative in my head, and it kind of validated my perception of the world. What I mean by that is, my perception of the world was what I've seen on TV. What I had growing up until I was about 9 or 10, it was normal, you know. I had a mum and dad at home. I had siblings, I had friends, I went to school. There was always dinner on the table. And then when things went south, I guess, gas and electric were never on. My mum would go missing at weekends. My dad was in prison a lot. There wasn't food to eat, and there weren't clean socks, there weren't clean underwear. Like, I've got my drawers behind me now, so it's quite a strange moment, because talking about this, they're full of socks and underwear. And I make a point of having these things in my house for my child, having a clean bed to get into every night, you know, making sure that bed's made. All that stuff that I do now as an adult is what I learned through Roundabout. So when I say they validated my perception of the world, they made me realise that I was right, and the upbringing that I was living in wasn't actually normal. I'm telling you, growing up in circumstances that a lot of young people do at Roundabout, it's traumatising. It's a form of trauma, and, you know, it's hard to undo the narrative that they've got on life, the narrative that I had that was negative. And what that narrative does, it creates a cycle. And you'll hear about in the news and stuff where some parents do one thing and then their children do it, and it becomes this cycle. And that cycle stopped with my son because of Roundabout. So I didn't have any education. I'd lived in absolute poverty. You know, I was living in a neglectful household. So I'd been nurtured to think that was normal. So yeah, my son thinks that going to university is normal. He thinks living in a clean, warm house is normal. He thinks having fresh bedding when it needs to be changed is normal, because it is. And a lot of young people that are living in hostels genuinely don't feel like that. And it's because of this trauma that they've experienced as children. So next time, you know, you're thinking about donating some money or you want to support a cause, Roundabout isn't just a cause. It changes the mental health, it changes the well-being, it changes the perception of the world of young people and of other people as well, so people in society. The fact that they helped me the way that they did made me change my perception of people, that they actually do want to help. There's people out there that want to help, that want to support you, that want you to be successful. And I think that's amazing. You might have actually been the person 10 years ago that donated the money for my bedding, you know, and if that was you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because that night, my life changed forever. And I've never gone back. I've always moved forward since then. And I think having that support and knowing that there is security out there, it just means everything.